I'm Sharon with At Your Service Dog Training, and I'm going to talk about how to introduce a second dog into your home with training. This can also be a helpful game if you have dogs who are competitive with each other, if there's resource guarding issues, or even if you just don't want one dog to chase after the other dog's treats. It can help build relationships between the dogs and help teach dogs each other's names and their own names for your new dog. As well as basically manners and patience. So the game that I start with is usually one called Everyone Sit, and I train the dogs that when I say everyone, it applies to all of the dogs. If I say one dog's name, it applies to that dog, and the other dog shouldn't try to horn in on the action. And then they learn to pay attention to their own name, and they learn to respect the other dog when the other dog is getting attention. So I'm going to get each dog up off of their bed right now. I'm going to say, Gromit, find it. Kismet, free, find it. I'm going to move this, I was going to move this bed out of the way for a second. Gromit, find it. Gromit is new to my household, and he's been learning that it's a good idea to lie on a dog bed when I'm around and I've got treats. So I'm going to start though with the first game called Everyone Sit. If you had dogs who were competitive with each other, if there were resource guarding issues or the dogs didn't like each other, you could have one dog tethered on one side of the room, the other dog tethered on the other side, or you could use gates or pens or something to separate the dogs and go back and forth between them. These guys are really comfortable with each other and friendly with each other, so I'm doing it with them nearby. Also for the purposes of the video, it's just easier to have them in the same location. Gromit, find it. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, everyone sit, and then I'm going to get each dog into a sit. If I need to, I would lure or use a cue. Once they're both sitting, then they learn that they should stay in the sit. As you can see, Kismet knows this game better, and they'll get treats as long as all dogs are in the sit. So I'm going to say Kismet, and he gets a treat. Oh, if one dog is standing, that dog does. Nobody gets any treats. Everybody has to be sitting. Everyone sit. Kismet, Gromit. I say the name, then I give the treat. Kismet, Gromit, Gromit, Kismet. This way they learn if something happens that's good for the other dog, it's going to happen for me too. Gromit, Kismet. So it's good for creating better associations. Gromit, Kismet. They also learn to stay in the sit until they've been released. And they're learning not to reach for the other dog's stuff because I'm saying the name first and then feeding. Kismet, Gromit. I did a lot of this with Gromit when he came into my home 3 weeks ago. I helped him to learn his name. Once they're really good at this, you can start to make it a little more challenging by moving the treat a little closer. So I'm going to say Kismet, good boy Gromit, and then I immediately praise and reward Gromit for not reaching for Kismet's treat. Gromit really likes food a lot. He will chase after any food. So this is a big improvement for him not going for Kismet's treat. Kismet, now I'm starting to hold the treat lower and closer. Yes, good boy to Gromit. And I'm immediately praising and rewarding him for not going for Kismet's treat. Gromit, Kismet. So I'm starting to put the treats closer to the other dog. When that's going well, I'm going to start to have one dog get the treat while the other one stays. Sometimes you have to use a little body blocking with this in the beginning. Everyone sit. Good boy, Gromit. Gromit, Kismet. Now I'm going to tell Kismet to stay, and I'm going to say Gromit and drop it on the floor. Kismet stayed, so Kismet, good boy, gets some praise and an immediate treat. Now I'm going to do the same thing with Gromit, which will be harder because it's new to him. I'm going to get him back into a sit. Gromit, and I'll lure him up into a sit. Sit. I might have to get him up first. Find it. Good boy. Good job, Kismet. I'm going to reward Kismet for not getting up while Gromit was getting all that attention. Sit. Good job. Okay. So I'm going to say Grommet and give him a treat. While I'm doing that, I'm going to say, Kismet, find it. Kismet gets up. Kismet, sit. Grommet gets a treat for not going for Kismet's treat. Grommet, Kismet. Kismet, stay. Grommet, free. Good boy, Kismet. Good job. I'm waiting for Grommet. Good boy to remember to sit. He gets a treat too. Now I'm going to do that same thing again. Grommet, Kismet, I'm doing. Say, Kismet, free. Good boy, Grommet. I'm rewarding Grommet for not getting up and chasing after that treat. He also didn't chase after his own treat, which is a huge, that's a big thing for him. That's hard for him. Okay, free, find it. Once your dogs have the idea of the sit, I don't know where it is, find it. You can start to do it with a down or a go settle, where you send each dog to their own mat. So I'm going to say, everyone, go settle, and then I'm going to teach the dog to go to their mat. Good boy, Grommet. I've been doing this one already with Grommet. Good boy. The nice thing about sending each dog to their own bed is that you can have beds throughout the house. You can move them where you need them. It gives the dog a station, a place to go, and they know as long as I'm lying here, good things are going to happen for me. So again, I can tell Kismet to stay. Kismet, stay. Grommet, free. I can release Grommet. Kismet gets rewarded for staying on his dog bed, and then Grommet gets rewarded for coming back to his dog bed. Once your dogs are good at this, you can bridge it to rewarding one dog for staying on his dog bed while you're training with the other one. So Kismet already knows a stay, so I'm going to tell him stay. Grommet doesn't know the word stay, so I'm not going to bother saying that with him. So if I wanted to now train Grommet on something like touch or down, I can do that. And then periodically, I'm just going to toss a treat onto Kismet's mat, rewarding him for staying out of the way while his sibling gets trained. So I'm going to tell Grommet, free. Good boy, Kismet. So I might ask Grommet to sit. Oops, that's not a sit. Free. Let's try that again. Sit. Good boy. Grommet, find it. Kismet. So Kismet is getting treats. We can try doing a little touch. That mat just keeps calling Grommet back, so I might move it while we're training because it's a little too confusing for him. Kismet. Grommet, touch. He thinks I dropped a treat. I know I didn't. Yes. Grommet, find it. Right here, find it. Good boy. Touch. Good boy. Good job. Grommet. Touch. Good boy. Kismet. Grommet. Sit. Good boy. Touch. Good boy. Oh, we're getting a lick. I'm going to have to get rid of that. Find it. So you can see that Kismet is just lying here. He's getting rewarded for staying on his mat while Grommet gets trained. Grommet, sit. Good boy. Good job. Good job. Free. Good boy. Find it. Grommet, sit. Good boy. Kismet. Grommet, free. I hope this is helpful, and good luck introducing your dogs into their new home. Happy training.